Oh, yes. Hello, my people. We're gonna get to this article in just a second. But this is good news, guys. This is a good day, even though, it's over somewhat bad news. I'm not gonna read the article yet because I gotta still say hi to everybody, but look at this. Look at this headline. Morning Joe pulled from the air Monday because of Trump shooting. That happened at 2:30 a.m. this morning. We're going to get to the article in just a second. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is a live show right now. So you're there in the chat. I'm having instead of Morning Joe, this is my yellow submarine cup. I take it nice, my double espresso black. Nice froth on there. Ooh. Bam. This is called the Morning Doug because Morning Joe is off the air. Thank the Lord. We're gonna find out if it's forever or not. We're gonna read the article together. I just want enough of you guys to come on and look, there's Matt Reese. Good morning. He's a moderator. Oh, hey, I am awake. Okay, you better do your job, moderators. Okay. There's good morning from Texas. I was calling Morning Joe. I was calling it morning incitement because they incite so many people to violence with all their talk of Trump being Hitler and end of democracy. We've heard Joe say it now. Now they're in trouble. Now there's an investigation on them. For those of you who are new to this channel, some of you will be, no doubt. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being with me this morning. This is a community where I try to just provide a place. You guys can talk to each other. Obviously, I can't get to most of them. Look, here's a guy with a $20 super chat and a member. Just another knucklehead tip jar celebrating the Trump survival. That's right. We are celebrating the next president. And guys, I've got articles here. I'm going to try and spend like an hour with you. This is really before I start my work day. This isn't even work yet. This is before we start. I still got to do like 9 videos today, 3 to post. It's always like 3 to post today and then 3 to post 2 weeks from now, 3 to post 3 weeks from now. I try and work that far ahead. Some of the videos get kind of old. You're going to be going, hey, the View article's kind of old. And it's like, I really do try to, so this is like the freshest, newest, and then it'll be slightly more stale as it goes on. The other thing is I try not to cover what everyone else is covering incredibly well. Like if everyone else is going to do, say, the RNC this week, they'll go on live. There's lots of guys going to go on live with the RNC and just refeed you what you could watch on Fox News Live or CNN Live. Unless I have some amazing commentary, something to say about some guest who's speaking, I usually won't do that. I'd almost rather watch their shows than mine. But I try to find the most, like the statement that they say during the RNC that I go, wow, that's important and mind blowing. That has to be unpacked. And then I'll do a video of usually just like that piece of the speech. So really, I'm trying to be more of a talk about what is generally wrong with all of America, what is generally working about all of Republicans in the Trump campaign, what is generally not working about the Democrat Party, what is generally wrong with. And so it's not going to do a lot of good for me to go in and just go, hey guys, look at this. Didn't Ted Cruz make a sick burn? That's not really how I do the news. Just so you know how this channel runs. We do 3 to 4 videos a day. You guys all say hi in the chat. There you are with your good mornings from Australia. Beavis and Butthead canceled again. Good morning from Kentucky. There's my Kentucky people. Mika should go too. Yeah. The View next, please, says Bats Bombastic. Yeah. I think you're going to see some big changes. The biggest thing with Morning Joe is how can they put those boobs on the air, those idiots on the air to do commentary at the RNC, right? given what Joe Scarborough and Mika have said and implied about Trump, and could be the cause of danger to him. They can't now go and say, oh, guys, it's a normal show, even though our ratings are cratering, even though you're being investigated for what could be an incitement to violence. Good morning from Scotland, says Andy with 2 pounds. Let's see, who else do we have here? I'm trying to find there's Clay Jones. Yep, starstruck. Okay, let's get to the article, okay? Because I have a lot of stuff to cover. So we're going to do, as soon as I find the format, there we go. Okay. Morning Joe pulled from the air Monday because of Trump shooting. That headline alone is the best thing I've ever read. Why? Because Joe Scarborough always claimed that we were what caused violence. And now, in reality, it is Joe and Mika that could have caused violence in reality. So what he said about us was a lie. Instead, and everything that they say about us, they try and set traps to get us in trouble. They themselves end up falling into the traps. And that's often what happens to people who are professional trap setters. You'll often fall in your own trap. There's one of my favorites right there. Terry Barnes, good morning. Keep calm and carry. Here's Spitfire, $5 super chat. Good morning from Arizona. My Arizona people. I do have a video coming out. I don't know if it's today or tomorrow, but it's Kerry Lake is now tied with Ruben Gallego in Arizona, or getting very close to tie. It's like within 1 point. She might even be completely tied by now. So her Senate race is looking good suddenly. And that's also down ticket stuff, guys. This is where Trump winning. But this, I have an article coming up where it is. I'll give you a tease on it here. Look at this. Democrats fret about the political fallout from the Trump rally shooting. Now, Democrats are pretty much saying we're about to just give up on Joe Biden. We can't get him out. It's going to lose. Anyone who comes in his spot isn't going to be able to win. That's how bad, guys. These are the good days. We still fight. Don't get me wrong. We still fight like we're losing, right? Okay, look at that sourpuss, the face. Look at the happy marriage. Both of them home wreckers. The mutual home wrecker marriage. Good morning from Oak Ridge, Tennessee. The Oak Ridge boy. Boom, bop, boom, bop, mow, mow. That's Bill Misifley, $5 super chat. MSNBC will not air Morning Joe, its celebrated politics roundtable program on Monday, opting to instead air continued breaking news coverage of the attempted assassination of former Trump. Now, this is another thing, guys. Okay. I don't like being this morbid, but the news, frankly, the business loves that Trump had an assassination attempt on him. In some ways, so does the Republican Party, not because they love violence, but because this is incredible news. This is such a tectonic change in the political climate that MSNBC is going, we're just going to cover the live some of the conspiracies, and I mean real conspiracies. Like there's serious questions about the Secret Service and their coverage and the FBI and all that, of who was in charge of security detail on Trump. That is more interesting than Morning Joe. Therefore, Trump being a martyr, Trump being a victim, and Trump being a hero is more interesting to MSNBC than Morning Joe trying to do the spin and the what about both sides. You've heard this already, right? They're going, both sides need to tone down the rhetoric. No, only your side needs to tone down the rhetoric. Our side didn't shoot a Democrat. You guys tried to shoot our candidate, or your violent rhetoric caused a nut, made a nut, created an environment, a globe, a sphere where everyone is swimming for 8 years in your crap, which is murderous, making jokes and normalizing the murder of our candidate. That's what you guys did. Okay, let's get back. Here we go. The Progressive News Network, boy, that's one way of putting it, confirmed. You guys can say in the chat, how about you guys come up with another word to use to describe MSNBC? CNN calls it the Progressive News Network. What would you call MSNBC? I want alternates in the chat. Give us a like, subscribe, share this link with your friends. Confirmed the decision to preempt its influential and top-rated morning show after a CNN inquiry Sunday evening. This is CNN investigating MSNBC. That's like, Hannibal Lecter investigating the Joker. This is, I'll bet CNN's hoping to take out MSNBC. They're going like, we're going to take out our competition right now. The network said the show will resume airing Tuesday. We'll see tomorrow. We'll see. If it's true, we'll do a video on them and I'll just hammer them for the lies they're going to spew across Morning Joe. And we've been covering Morning Joe now regularly for 2 years. We were among the first to hit Mika Brzezinski back in the day. Now, of course, we're happy. I like to lead other channels. I want other channels to follow suit. If I can get 50 channels to lean on Mika and Joe, I'll take 50 channels. It sounds like the line of Haman is finally upon us, says Lisa Compton. That's a Bible reference. Okay. Ray Ritzy, $10 super chat. Trump has plot armor earthworm Jim for VP. We're going to find out. Could be today. See, Trump, the Trump assassination attempt is if you're the Republican campaign, you do not step on that energy by announcing your VP. Once again, the news cycle is so favorable to Trump that you roll out that VP on a day that it's weak, because then that becomes the news. And so he doesn't want to step on that. In fact, the Joe Biden campaign is thankful the news is finally off of him, who can't even move. They're showing videos of Biden. He can't even move. And now it's back on Trump. But it's like Trump is a hero now. Good morning, Doug, says Kathleen Hannon. So happy about this. Yes, my love, we're going to get there. The decision by MSNBC to leave one of its most recognizable programs on the sidelines amid a seismic politics-driven news cycle, with the Republican National Convention getting underway in the wake of the Saturday shooting at Trump's campaign rally, is certain to raise eyebrows. Guys, the news is coming so fast, we can't keep up, is what this is about. And I'm so thankful that you guys trust me with your news. I'm not a news guy, okay? I'm an entertainer. I'm a comic book guy. I want to just make the news as entertaining as possible. To me, it's like watching, our favorite, those of us who are patriots, it's like taking a pulse of your country is what the news is. It's the Democrats are telling us everything, they're giving us information and we're unpacking it together. The Republicans, the tact, and you've seen me, I read the headlines, depending on even how CNN frames this article, is telling you something about the truth. They'll never actually come out and tell you the truth in the actual article. No. The journalists, they're all liars. Okay. And I try not to lie. I'm a fallen man saved by Jesus Christ. And you also ought to repent, but we exaggerate or I can just flat out be wrong. If I say something that I think is right, and then I find out I'm wrong, I'll tell you guys too. I want you guys to do your best to trust me, But mostly I leave all these chats open so you can make your own opinion. You're allowed to call me out and totally disagree. Doug, you got this one wrong. You're totally wrong about JD Vance. We'll see. A person familiar with the matter told CNN that the decision was made to avoid a scenario in which one of the show's stable of 24+ guests might make an inappropriate comment on live television that could be used to assail the program and network as a whole. So this is literally MSNBC's entire train of psychos and conspiracy theorists and incitements to riot, incitements to violence, incitements to do something about the president. We have to do something or we'll lose everything. MSNBC, that is their whole lineup, that the network said too big of a risk. They'll just embarrass us. This is going to be bad. And we've all seen them. Are they going to put the Joy Reid show on at any time this week? When does Joy Reid, Rachel Maddow, and all the weird, long pauses? I got something for you. Have you ever thought about this? And you're just going like, the president they tried to assassinate the president. It could have been, not only could it have been horrible for Trump, you got to think about this. It was actually horrible for a citizen who died. He took the bullet instead of Trump. The hero is the citizen who took the bullet, a MAGA fan who loved Trump, a great man, a great father, we find out. Pray for him, guys. Corey. Okay. Given the breaking news nature of the story, the person said it made more sense to continue airing rolling breaking news coverage in the fraught political moment. Do you know why? People do not care that much about what Mika and Joe have to say. Mika, who's blonde, and Joe Scarborough, who acts even blonder, if you know what I mean. With apologies to my blonde people. That's a terrible. Sorry, Kathleen. Okay. Here we go. This is a $5 super chat answering Adventism. Oh, that's my buddy Miles. Guys, you got to watch Answering Adventism, Seventh-day Adventists right here on YouTube. Answering Adventism. Subscribe if you like argument about religion and apologetics and Bible stuff. Then subscribe right now to Answering Adventism. He's a very good friend, Miles Kettleson. In fact, Angie and I often we want to give them date nights, he and his wife, so we babysit his kid and to free them and go out and tear up Nashville, Tennessee. And we love his son so much. And he loves me. He calls me, he can't say Uncle Dougie. He tries to say like Uncle Dougie, and he goes, Uncle Turkey. So I am Uncle Turkey. All right, let's get back to this article. Quote, given the gravity, hey, look, 7,400 of you simultaneously in this show. Everyone give us a thumbs up. It'll go farther. Leave a comment. Say hi. Good morning. God bless. It will go even farther out. Take this link and share it on social media. That's Facebook or Twitter, or email it to a friend. It'll go even farther. So that's how you multiply that audience. And thank you guys for watching. You don't have to ever super chat or pay to watch this show. You watching the show is payment. It pays me a lot of money. The actual money that is super chatted to us, and there's also memberships available right next to the subscription button. There are memberships available. Shows like this go live, and then after they get some views for a day or so, I set them to private, and only the members can access the archive. So if you want to go back through the live shows, all these 1 hour longer contents, You have to do it through membership, which is, I think, $5.99 a month, $5.99 a month. And we use it to pay bills. That's all. Your super chats, all these go to pay bills too. Helps pay my editor, equipment, a stunt, hangar. $5 super chat. It won't let me send the message I want. Yeah. By the way, be careful what message you write. YouTube definitely censors your message. Anything that is a crazy conspiracy, anything that is a call to violence, anything that is too, psycho or outside of the range, they often won't even let you post it, or it will just vanish. They're blocking buzzwords and things like that. So just be careful the way you word it. Try to word it other ways if they don't let you word it. And please be respectful of this community. I never advocate violence. I don't like, if you start saying it's time for war and stuff like that, usually you'll get put in a timeout or something. I don't mind disagreement. I don't mind if you're being respectful. There's a guy in there saying F YouTube. Some of that is okay, but there's some guys that'll start posting the N-word just to try and get our show shut down, or they'll say all caps kill Joe Biden or something like that just to get our show shut down. So if I see that, like there's a guy saying F YouTube over and over again, if you repeat the same thing over and over again, you also need to be put in a timeout or removed from the channel. That's spamming the channel. This is a conversation. If you were sitting here in a room together with all of my people, I would never sit you and just let you repeat the same thing over and over again. Doug, I'm a car battery. 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 When everyone else is trying to have a conversation, we would walk you outside because you're bad for conversation. And I'm here to protect our conversation above all. Free flow of free speech. Just another knucklehead $5 super chat and member. Click the like button. Thank you, sir. Given the gravity and complexity of this unfolding story, NBC News, NBC News Now, and MSNBC, man, how many news stations does this crap fest own? Have remained in rolling breaking news coverage since Saturday evening. That, again, the breaking news is coming so fast. It's way better information than anything you'd get from the commentary of Morning Joe. And it's better, look, let's face it, it's better ratings for MSNBC than their normal garbage. Spokesman from NBC Universal News Group said in a statement to CNN, quote, as we continue to cover this story into the week, the networks will continue to cross simulcast, alternating between NBC News, NBC News Now, and MSNBC reports. So there's one news feed covering this developing situation. And so watch the news. I'll check in on MSNBC all day. But what I want to see is because this essentially is a lie, what NBC Universal said, because I want to see if they ever allow Joe Scarborough or Mika to provide the coverage during being like a normal spokeshead, will they let them provide the coverage for the news, or are they just going to hide them during these tough times, which, these are serious times. And it is not a good time for Mika and Joe. In the wake of the attempt on Trump's life, some of the former president's supporters have vehemently criticized the press and liberal media commentators for their hard-knuckling reporting. What? Hard-knuckled reporting? Bull crap. How about soft, crummy, psychotic commentary is what you get, which has sounded the alarm on what 4 more years under the former president would look like. A hard-knuckled reporting. That's very kind of you, CNN, to say about Rachel. Rachel Maddow's hard knuckle? Okay. Cesar Conde, the chairman of NBC Universal Group, made the decision in conjunction with Rashida Jones, the president of MSNBC, and host Joe Scarborough and Brzezinski, the person familiar with the matter told CNN, no, they did not make it with host Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski. They just put them in to help cover for them. Over the course of the campaign cycle, news organizations have reported at length on Trump's plans to warp the federal government for his own ends. That's a kind way of saying what they said. They actually said he would be a totalitarian dictator. And then CNN reports it. They've reported at length on Trump's plans to warp the federal government for his own ends. I mean, how about Biden? Biden making money off of Ukraine and China. Isn't that warping the government for your own ends? How about using the government to cover up for your son, Hunter? How about using the government for your own ends to protect your campaign by going after Trump? Who has plans to warp the government for their own ends, including to seek vengeance against his political opponents as Trump takes a bullet? MSNBC is saying that it was Trump who's going to seek vengeance against his political opponents as Trump is tried, found guilty of a felony by Democrat judge, Democrat jury, Democrat Department of Justice, Democrat prosecutor Jack Smith. And they say that Trump is seeking vengeance against his political opponent? Where? Where is he seeking vengeance? He needs to seek justice. He needs to be reciprocal against Joe Biden in the way that Biden treated him. Otherwise, the Democrats won't stop doing it. It's like when you take your dog and he craps on the carpet. You take his nose and you put it in the poop so he smells it. He goes, I don't like this. And you force your dog to learn empathy. The dog says, I don't like this because it's being done to me. And that's what you have to do to the Democrats. You take what they did, the crap they put on the carpet, and you take their nose and you put it in the crap. Make them smell it. Anyways, that's the tactic, vengeance against political opponents. They're accusing Trump of vengeance against political opponents. Maybe they'll stop now that a bullet missed his brain by 1 inch. Maybe now they'll stop that irresponsible, gay, weirdo fantasy. Fruity, nutty, hysterical. The fantasy of all their movements. This is what all their movements have said. That Trump and MAGA are vengeful. That's Black Lives Matter movement. That is the Rainbow movement. That's the environmental movement. All of their DEI movements, Marxism, socialism, all of their branding, pro-Palestine, cover up for them. All of their movements are saying the same thing. Trump is the kind of guy to seek vengeance against his political opponent. We did a video on Hillary Clinton saying that. Trump is like a Putin who will probably take out a candidate on the other side. The only evidence we have that's anything close to what Hillary said is her side did it. Hillary, your side. Your side tried to remove the security detail around Trump. Every time Trump asked for backup, every time they asked for help, they were turned down. No, you can't get it. No. Secret Service, all their security detail, too busy trying to hire 30% women, DEI hires, diversity hires, too busy trying to get 30% women. So you have women that look like, Amy Schumer running around instead of these giant buffed white men. They got passed up for the job. Some retired Army Ranger or Navy SEAL got passed up for the job. for someone who looks like Melissa McCarthy. Okay. Eaters of the Dead, $10 super chat. Are the algorithms the reason why all the news sites refuse to use the word in their news titles? They knew their channel would be shadow banned or banned outright. I believe it. I don't know exactly to what degree that is, Eaters of the Dead. I try to be somewhat careful with this channel, but I try not to be paranoid. How's that? So if it's appropriate for me to say the word assassination, I'll say it. And then if I say it on enough videos and if I put it in the title, and I notice those videos just get way less views, like tiny, tiny amounts of views, and you just stop using it. You get trained out of it and you use another word. You hear me say it in my videos. I say, someone tried to take the life of the president, or of Trump or whatever. And so there's other ways you can word it and it'll say the same thing and the algorithm won't catch it. That's all. Until AI gets better and better to actually discern meaning. It will get there, but not yet. Here's Pixel Pirate, $2 Canada. Thank you for not changing the camera angles frequently. You're talking about my normal fare. By the way, there's reasons for why we have to cut my shows that way. We do a lot of camera work, and some of you may not like it, but I think it's more cinematic. It also helps. I'm trying to put a little more variety in it, but I'm actually thankful you told me that, because if people don't enjoy it, and I keep hearing that comment, quit changing camera angles so frequently. So this one's live is why it's not jumping around, but I'm a film guy. I've directed, so I like variety. I like the clicking around angles thing. I get that it can be distracting, and we're not that good at some of what we do. I just kind of throw the camera up there and hit record, just so, and I send 2 feeds to my editor and he cuts it together. Karen's crazier sister, $2. And yes, you are crazy with her American flag and glasses. Let's get back to the article. This is the first of 2 articles we're going to go over today. Over the course of the campaign cycle, news organizations have reported at length on Trump's plans to warp the federal government for its own ends, including seek vengeance against political opponents. Why? That reporting is now facing scrutiny, and that's why they're in trouble now, with some Trump supporters blaming it for producing a charged atmosphere that gave way to the assassination attempt. Now, this is an odd way of saying it, this line right here, with some Trump supporters blaming it for producing charged atmosphere. Very interesting. We didn't come up with this. We didn't invent that. So don't say some Trump supporters blaming for producing a charged atmosphere. Who claimed it was a charged atmosphere? It wasn't Republicans. It's been 8 years of Democrats saying Trump is Biden himself in his mega MAGA speeches saying we are violent. We are a violent atmosphere, oppressive atmosphere that other people need some kind of a safe space or hug box. It wasn't we that came up with this idea also that words are incendiary, that words cause violence, so it was Jack Smith who formally charged, and the J6 committee that told Trump when Trump said, peacefully and patriotically walk to the Capitol and let your voice be heard. That is what they heard said is an incitement to violence. And you have other Democrats like Biden saying, put a target on him, on Trump. The head of the Lincoln Project, it's time to take him out. Chuck Schumer, never took responsibility for the assassination attempt on Mike Kavanaugh after Chuck Schumer said, Kavanaugh, you will reap the whirlwind. These have consequences. We've heard the calls to violence almost 100% from Democrat. And then they come out and do this both sides stuff. And, some Trump people produced and invented this thing. We didn't come up with the idea that words cause violence. I don't even believe words cause violence. I believe a shooter does it freely of his own will. That's why there's only one shooter and not 800,000 of them, because if it was really that causal, right, there'd be 80 to 100 shooters on building tops, right? There's only one. They're always loners. They're always nuts. They've always been bullied. Now, yeah, this guy's a Democrat operative for all I know. I don't even know. Maybe the Biden campaign hired him. Maybe the CIA. These are weird conspiracies. I don't want to go into that, but I'm only saying that nothing would surprise me at this point. I'm only saying me telling all of you to act out in violence does not cause violence. You freely choosing to act out in violence, that causes violence. But the left doesn't believe that. The left says your rhetoric, you're being mean, your hatred causes people to die. And so now I'm going to put it right back on you. Even though I believe words don't cause violence, I'm going to come back and put your face, your dog face, in the poo-poo. You, Democrats, MSNBC, cause violence with your words. You said that. And so now I'm going to hold you to it. Look, you came up with this. You came up with this. You tried Trump with a J6 committee for saying peacefully and patriotically walk to the Capitol and make your voice heard. Therefore, when Joe Biden said 5 days before Trump was shot, Joe Biden said, put a target on Trump, right? Jack Smith must try Joe Biden. Must. For inciting violence. Trump was accused of inciting a riot. Biden must be tried for inciting an assassination of his political opponent on the same grounds. Or, like we said, it's a two-tiered justice system. We all know what would happen if Trump said, put a target on Biden, and 5 days later, someone shot him. We all know what would happen in America. If someone missed Joe Biden by an inch on his campaign trail, David Axelrod's going, that's a pretty good idea. That might actually give Joe Biden a chance. Okay, here's a $10 super chat from Mature Patriot. Keep up the good work. God bless. Thank you so much, Mature Patriot. We'll get through this article. I'm just going to grab this other guy here. There's a little one. Eaters of the Dead, $2 super chat. I'm talking about the main news sites, NBC, Fox News. Here's $5 super chat. Roni S. Doug, they did move part of the detail up the road to cover Jill when she intentionally came to the area the same day. Yeah, that's part of the news cycle, but we don't know the cause, okay? Jill came to do an event, but, Jill and Biden have been covering Pennsylvania. They've been trying to get all over Pennsylvania. So we don't know that she intentionally did it, which would be a conspiracy, but possible, okay? I'm always downplaying conspiracy until I know for a fact intent. Jill Biden and Joe have been covering Pennsylvania. So she went to an event. The security detail is going to usually cover Joe Biden's wife, Jill Biden. And they say that that's where Trump's main security detail, the pool of those guys that are around with the earpieces and the guns, would be around him, but they got pulled to Jill Biden instead of going to Trump's event. There's a lot of blame. Okay. Secret Service, I get it. There's a lot of blame. Blame them. I mostly blame that shooter. Mostly. And yeah, I get it. The culture of violence, it really is a thing when it's this extreme with the Democrats. It's true. Okie, $10 super chat. So much for the bunch preaching acceptance and tolerance. Who are the violent ones? The Democrats took a shot. It was the leftist, in fact, loopy leftist, who violently, with an AR, took a shot at Trump. It was a loopy leftist who shot Scalise, leaving him permanently damaged, and was going to shoot all kinds of others at a GOP baseball game. And Lee Unken, or whatever his name is, from Ulrich or whatever, from New York, also stabbed by a Democrat. These are Bernie bro lunatics. Patrick Rupke, $20 super chat. Doug, have you seen the video of a lady behind Trump? She looks as if she knew something was coming. After the bang, she never flinches. Then pulls her camera out to film it. It wasn't normal zoom in low behind. I don't mind looking at that, but I don't, I'm not out looking to construct a conspiracy. There's already enough weird stuff, right? You have the shooter going up a ladder, and then a cop went up a ladder, saw the shooter, went back down instead of engaging because the shooter turned around and pointed a gun at him and then instantly dove into him. You have 4 minutes of people pointing to the shooter on the roof. Dan John Bongino's doing a great job covering this, going, how about I tell you guys a story? I'm going to give you guys a story that no other news group. Well, okay, first let me get through this article and then I'll tell you a story. How's that? $2 super chat. GTA, 170 million grinding. Check it out. Okay. Want to get through my super chats. Lawman arrested and fired for taking Pew Pew Man down. $2 super chat. $20 Keith Greenidge super sticker. Thank you so much, Keith. That's very kind of you. There's everybody have a great day. Here's $20. Bran Hickman, $20 super chat. Did you see Benny Johnson's new video yesterday about the prophet that predicted the attempt 3 months ago? No, I did not see that. I heard about it, and I have almost no interest in prophets doing their crazy predictions, because I can also find you. We've predicted that Trump would get assassinated if, we put the if in there. Also predicted the ear would be hit regardless of what people believe. I do believe God saved Trump. Well, again, I can't, God is sovereign. Nothing, no one lives one day longer until God decides. So not only by that metric did God save Trump, but God chose to take the other innocent man, wonderful father, with a bullet. Okay. Yes, you can't give God only credit for one side of sovereignty without the other side of sovereignty. In fact, the Bible says God is I am the creator of calamity. Here's just another knucklehead, $5 super chat. Can you show the Biden comment on bullseye or target on Trump, please? I have not seen that. Okay, that's a reasonable request. Let me get through this article first, and then I'll tell you guys my story. And then I might get to that, Justin, their knucklehead. Okay, charged atmosphere that gave way to the Trump assassination attempt, while mostly looking past the incendiary rhetoric of the former president himself. I do not look past the rhetoric of the president. Here's the difference. So this is whataboutism, where they say that they're both. And anytime you make a moral equivalence where there is none, you're doing something immoral. I'll give you an example. The best one is in Israel versus Hamas. Okay, Hamas is terrorist and evil. And people are saying, hey, both sides need to calm down right now. It'd be like in World War II with Hitler versus Patton, saying, hey, both sides need to tone it down. It's like, no, your side needs to surrender and we need to destroy you. So when they do things like this and they say, Trump, he had incendiary rhetoric. You can't compare Trump, one guy, saying things like we fight is one of the incendiary things he has said. He said, I'll be a dictator or a totalitarian for one day. But you can't compare that because it wasn't the entire Republican Party putting out a message of Trump saying, put a target on Biden. Trump never said that. Not even close. Number one. Number two, a Republican didn't actually shoot a Democrat. A Democrat has shot a Republican. So the right probably is not as violent as the left, even though we own more boomsticks than the left. The left only buys boomsticks to act out in political violence or do street violence. The right, we own boomsticks to defend our family and our home. It's defensive. So the other thing is Trump, it's not the entire Republican Party that repeats over and over again Trump's rhetoric of, I want to be a dictator, for one day. What other Republican said that? What other news network said that? Trump is going to happily be a dictator for a day or a totalitarian for a day, and we support that. No one supported it. So you only have Trump, one person saying exaggerated rhetoric. The Democrat Party, you have MSNBC, major hosts and influencer, CNN, even the liberals on Fox. You have politicians, Maxine Waters, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, all of them over and over again. Actors with Kathy Griffin holding up the bloody head, fake head of Trump. Actors over and over again saying he's an existential threat. Rob Reiner, Stephen King, over and over saying he's a threat, he's Hitler, he's Hitler. Thousands and thousands of them for thousands and thousands of hours across a year. You cannot compare that and say, there's incendiary rhetoric on both sides. That is moral equivalence where there is no moral equivalence. So CNN, you are immoral. It is a lie. You have to compare, you've heard this, apples to apples, oranges to oranges. So prove to me that Trump's rhetoric, I've never even heard him say, I would beat Joe Biden, I would punch him. Joe Biden has said, I would take Trump behind the barn and punch and beat him up. There's none of that rhetoric specifically from Trump. See what I mean? You have to be I want to see a very careful unpacking of those words. Guys, we're at 9,100 simultaneous viewers right now. Give us a like, give us a comment, give us a thumbs up, and help push this show out even farther. It helps us with even more votes. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to hopefully get through this article. MSNBC has in particular been blasted by Trump's allies, putting the network in the spotlight. Some of Trump's allies have gone as far as to attack the network's parent company, Comcast. I haven't even heard of this. Who cares? It's not the first time MSNBC has made such programming decisions in charged political moments. Last year, after Hamas executed its deadly October 7th attack on Israel, MSNBC quietly pulled 3 of its Muslim broadcasters from the air. Isn't that kind of racist or religionist? Isn't that Islamophobic to do? That move, which came after some pro-Israeli forces criticized the tone of MSNBC's coverage, left some staffers at the network feeling uncomfortable, like the Jewish ones, Semaphore reported at the time. Okay, that's that article. We're going to get to, where's my next one? Oh, yeah. That one's next. Let me get to my super chats here. I still owe you that Biden bullseye comment. Let me see if I can find it. Biden bullseye quote. That's what I'm going to put into Google. So you guys, this is how I do my news. Hold on. Okay. That's the BBC, Wall Street Journals, Rolling Stone, CNN. Citing his recent comments, Republicans blame Joe Biden for Trump. Let's do USA Today. Usually that's pretty generic. I try and pick, also I don't want super spammy sites. Let's see if this one will give you that specific quote, brother. Hold on, hold tight here. I'm just going to zip. Oh man, look at all these pop-up windows, gross. Here it is, okay. A number of Republicans are pointing fingers at President Joe Biden after the shooting of former President Donald Trump at a political rally on Saturday, with some citing Biden's recent statement that, quote, it's time to put Trump in a bullseye. It's time. That's what he said 5 days before someone put Trump in a bullseye. Biden, there's the quote. It was to a bunch of donors over a call. And, I can give you the recording, but that just so you know what it says. Let's get it bigger on the screen here. But Joe Biden said it's time to put Trump in a bullseye. Now, I just have to ask you people in the audience, if words cause violence, should not Biden be tried for inciting violence, inciting an assassination? Otherwise, everybody shut up about J6. Just take J6 off the table as far as going after Trump. Never say it again. Liz Cheney, Romney, Kinzinger, never again. I don't want to hear it. We've already been laughing you off the stage. But if you're not willing to say right now, and we have to prosecute, try, investigate Biden for that quote, it's time to put Trump in a bullseye. Jack Smith, get on it. Merrick Garland, massive. Appoint a special prosecutor yesterday on Joe Biden. And then hopefully he'll have immunity. Same thing, Trump had immunity, and he'll go to the Supreme Court and say, hey, I have immunity, so I'm allowed to have my free speech and say it because I'm the president. Fine. But you're the ones that said Trump shouldn't have immunity. So it's time to take the dog and wipe his nose in the poo-poo again, so he learns so he knows the smell of your crap that you put on the carpet. You guys said Trump shouldn't have immunity. Therefore, Biden shouldn't have immunity. We should be fighting at the same time, fighting that Trump should have immunity, but hold the Democrats to their standard. You should not have immunity, Biden, for saying it's time to put Trump in a bullseye 5 days before crooks put Trump in a bullseye. That's how this works. Otherwise, it's what we call, and we know it's there, a two-tiered justice system. That is, you never intend to prosecute any Democrat for any reason, and you will prosecute Trump. That is, you will not prosecute a Democrat for inciting violence, even if they cause an assassination. And then you will prosecute Trump as if he did cause an assassination, because you're lying asses. That's what you do. You're a Democrat. Never check a box next to a Democrat, or you're promoting their behavior. Okay. There's GTA is making a character look like Trump. Here's Ronnie S., $5 super chat. There are separate details, and they polled at the last minute. Secret Service agents are reporting they were short agents to cover the whole area. That's true. Not only were they short agents, but they were also short agents. I'm 6'8". If you look at the footage of Trump standing up with his fist in the air, they're all like only covering him up to here. Those female diversity hires, they're 30% feminist women. For all the feminists out there going, there should be 30% women in Secret Service and on the front lines of our military, and on police forces. The women are these squatty little women like your Italian aunt who comes over and she's a big round woman. Hey, eat a spaghetti. I made you a cannoli. I made you a stromboli. And she's all huge. That's what the Secret Service women look like. What you need is a big man who's shaped like a V to cover Trump. The guy needs to be like, I'm 6'8". You need to get a good 6'4". They exist in America. Incredibly athletic, giant supermen that look like Vikings. Huge to cover Trump. So when they stand up, they take the bullet. That's their job. These female Secret Service officers that can't reholster their gun, they look like our cleaning lady. Okay. Goodness. We're going to get to another article. Oh, a new member. There you go. Thank you. Will Leitch. New member. See the little symbol next to me? He's a new member. That's $5.99, $5.99 a month. Will Leitch became a YouTube member. Rules on YouTube members: you get access to these live shows forever, and you can quit at any time. In fact, if you can't afford it, I want you to quit at any time. Keith Greenidge, $10 super chat. Here's the FBI already sure the guy worked alone. Dark Star, $5 super chat. Well, Steve Crowder and the Mug Club went to the guy Crooks's house looking for him, and there was a bunch of, ghosts over there. A bunch of the guys, spooks, already ransacking the house. They're going through all the evidence. They will find all of his social media, anyone he's ever talked to. They already know that his parents are therapists, so they'll go to his parents. They'll interview everyone he knows for information. They'll know if he acted alone, and he acted alone. There is a conspiracy out there. I do report on conspiracies, not to promote them. I'm not saying they're true. I'm only telling you this conspiracy exists. Okay. The conspiracy exists is there's a BlackRock video. Now, anytime there's a conspiracy, everyone's going to go like, oh, it's the BlackRock investor group that's funding everything, globalist, all that. Well, there's a BlackRock video of a guy doing a presentation about math, and Crooks, the assassin, is in the video, like when he was a kid in high school in the math program. He's in a BlackRock video. Now, that is where conspiracies come. Now, to me, correlation does not equal causation. That's science. Okay. Correlation. That is, just because things are close and happening at the same time, it does not mean it is a cause. It does not mean BlackRock caused Crooks and that the kid didn't shoot alone. Okay. But I do want to put it out there just to say, I don't know. I'm not saying I know. In general, I almost always don't believe conspiracies, even though this one is setting up to be a beautiful, giant conspiracy. Because you have people pulling Secret Service agents, and you want to know, is this normal? Is this a normal dereliction of duty? Or did the Biden administration prefer to have less security detail? And then you go, well, why did the sharpshooters that are supposed to be Trump's security have the shooter in their crosshairs and not take the shot? Why? And they kept asking the head of the security, what is it, Cheadle or whatever her name is? They kept asking her, can I take the shot? And she said, no, you cannot take the shot. That's a fact. That's not a conspiracy. It's a fact. I just don't know the motive. Is the motive of the head of Secret Service, is the motive to have the guy successfully be able to shoot Trump? That's what we don't know. We only know because there's legit reasons why she could have said don't shoot him either. They might have thought that they had one of their own undercover guys in field and thought that they'd be shooting one of their own guys. Everyone in hindsight we have perfect hindsight. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. Christine S., $50 super chat. Hey, Doug, can I recommend a book? The Mystery of Why.com. It proves the left is Satanism. It also makes the claim that nobody was born gay. Now, I'm interested in all that stuff. It's an interesting read. I saw it on Rumble. Why aren't you on Rumble? Keep fight. Christine S., I'm not on Rumble because Rumble is a very bad platform to try to figure out, even to try to watch. You're here watching me. It's so easy for you guys to be here. Rumble's not a good program, But thank you for that super chat. And, if I hear more about that book, I'll look into it. I do believe that you're not born. I don't know exactly how sexuality, how fixed it is, how you're born. I know that it can be socially and spiritually changed. And I've seen people flat out change their sexuality, period. RBG, in fact, one of them is a guy named Chris Yoon, W-U-E-N. He used to be gay. Now he's straight and he's about to get married. He spoke at a conference. My son went to the conference and it was on apologetics. And he flat out said, he became that way. He was attracted that way. Now it's gone and he's getting married. So it goes against the narrative that your sexuality is fixed, especially if you have a kink or you're broken, that we shouldn't try to therapy your way or pray the gay away is what they call it. And I don't believe that. I believe if you're attracted to the same sex, or if you're attracted to a tree, or if you're attracted to whatever, you should be able to change anything you want. You should be able to. I believe you actually can. I don't believe it's fixed at all. I don't believe we're materialist meat machines programmed to do everything, and everything is a bunch of synapses in your mind forcing you down a road that if you're an a-hole, you have to be an a-hole. No. If you cheat on your wife, you have to cheat on your wife. No. You're same-sex attracted, you have to be same-sex attracted. No. You're a selfish prick and you have to remain a selfish prick. No. You drink alcohol and take fentanyl and take drugs and have to take it. No. You gossip and you have to gossip. No, you don't. You're not a robot. You have the free will choice. And you know what? People don't want to change. People don't want to change. So they don't want to sit there and say, I'm responsible for what I do. They want to say, I'm a victim. I'm a robot. I can do no other. I can't quit smoking. I can't quit eating. I can't exercise. I can't stop gossiping. I can't stop being crass. I can't be holy. I can't. It's your fault. I'm a robot. BG, member for 3 months. How about a daily accounting of inflammatory rhetoric by media and government? Yeah, that'd be very good and helpful, right? Media's guilty, guys. Democrat Party's guilty by their own standard. The Democrat Party, Biden has said incendiary things. Kamala Harris has said incendiary things implying Trump is Hitler. What do you do to Hitler? You send a Bonhoeffer after him and try to take him out. That's what they did. And if Trump is Hitler, why are the Democrats praying for Trump, saying we pray for his recovery, we hope he's safe? Who prays for Hitler's recovery and hopes Hitler is safe? Right? So they're proving they were lying all along in calling Trump Hitler. They know he's not an existential threat. They know he's not Hitler. Morning Joe knows he's not Hitler. Joe Scarborough knows it. And that's why they should be kicked off the air. Deb Blanky, $5 super chat. During Biden's speech last night, he said not to use violence, but to settle this at the battle box. Yeah, because he can't even say ballot box right. Do you think this is telling? I think it's telling that Biden has advanced stage dementia, Parkinson's, senility, and who knows what else. And no one should feel comfortable with him. You should just feel like, man, no one's in charge of this country. And weakness invites. That's why that assassination took place, because he's incompetent, because and all of our private security are all incompetent too. Holy cow, it's been an hour. My goodness. I got to try to get through this other article though, so I can start my day. Maybe I'll just go do a video of it and read it, and I'll send it to my editor instead. You guys won't be able to see it for a while. Last super chats, guys. RBG, $10 super chat. You're a member. Thank you for your membership. Words can become temptations to sin. It reveals the state of our hearts at the moment. That is true. But you'll have to admit, right, that those same words have gone out to everyone, and only one nutty shooter came out and did it. So it's not 100. It's not in general effective. In general, it doesn't work on everyone, and so again, you have to, in the end, blame the guy that did this. The guy that pulled the trigger is who I blame 100%. You are evil incarnate. You are against our system. And you know what? Everyone else is exercising free speech, including when Trump says peacefully and patriotically, go let your voices be heard. That is not hate speech and it did not incite any violence. And that's, you have to protect free speech, especially free speech you disagree with. So, you guys are cracked. You guys are really funny. Hoopball, yeah, I'm going to put you in a timeout if you can't stop saying that. You've said it 1,000 times. You're saying F YouTube. That's crass. It's just over and over again, you know? Quit farting in my living room over and over again. There's people here. There's other people here it's better for you to talk to them. Go talk to everybody. Why did they originally say a C National, and why did the van have an Arizona tag? That I don't know. My grandma's blaming Biden. Well, you know, these days, remember Biden has already used his Department of Justice to target Trump. He's used law. They've invented law to investigate Trump. Oh, and by the way, guys, how do you feel about this? The same FBI that went into Melania Trump's underwear drawer and Barron Trump's bedroom looking for classified documents are going to investigate this shooting and get to the bottom of the secret security pulling out and being so incompetent. Do you trust Christopher Wray's FBI to investigate this without politics? Are you kidding? One thing we know is we will not find anything. So grandma could be right. Scott, $5 Canadian. Thank you guys. Hey, thanks to all my loves out there. Thank you guys for joining me here in exile. We had a great cup of coffee together. I'd like to thank you all for participating and subscribing and hanging out with me on this live show. Guys, this is going to be great. Trump is going to win. We hope, God willing, again, Lord willing, Lord protect him. We mourn with that Corey guy's family, the civilian MAGA fan who got shot. Guys, that's one of us being shot. Those are our people being shot, right? That's us. Pray for them. May God's rich blessings. We're going to do a fundraiser for them. There's already a fundraiser for them. JD Vance, spread the link. We're going to do a fundraiser for them to help get the families and the injured money. We're going to send them money. Okay. Help pay for things. That's what we do for fellow MAGA people. I'm Doug in exile. God bless you all. A fool gives full vent to his anger, but a wise man keeps himself under control. And I'll add to that scripture because that's how we win.